On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, the NBA playoffs are just coming to a close. The Celtics firmly have their foot on the throat of the Mavericks, or do they? We got some NBA news, a little WNBA talk, as is tradition. Seems like everybody's doing some now. Talk a little Belmont Stakes, maybe dabble in the MLB. Can't forget about the Stanley Cup Finals, and then we're going to try to keep you guys winning some money with heat checks. So listen up, and here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
He's heating up!
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!
He's on fire! Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational! Boom shakalaka!
You believe in miracles? Yes!
There it goes! See ya!
He's heating up!
Trying to get open, fires away!
Fire! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, we got another good one for you. As always, I'm Sasha here with Sarah and Mike, and the NBA playoffs are officially 2-0 in favor of the Boston Celtics. Sarah, is this series over or what?
I don't want it to be, but I think unfortunately it is. I think we'll straight out. I don't know about a sweep. I was wondering what you guys thought on that, like the likelihood of this being a sweep. I don't think, I'm leaning towards the Mavs, pull one, maybe two out, but I don't think they can come back from this.
It's a lot. Mike?
I said Celtics in 5, right?
You did.
I feel good about it. I mean, I don't feel good. I mean, I don't know. This series has been underwhelming as far as, like, I just don't really love anybody out there.
Yeah.
I wanted the Timberwolves. I miss you.
When are we calling in the refs? We got to get the refs. We got to swing this series back. I personally, I mean, it's part of what I'm rooting. It's so hard for me to like differentiate in my brain what I'm rooting for and what I want to happen versus what I actually think is going to happen. Because all I'm thinking right now is I think that this series is going to come back to Boston 2-2. I think that if Porzingis played the way that he played in Game 1, it could very well be a sweep or 5 games. I mean, Porzingis looked outrageous, and you very quickly realize, like, I don't know how you guard that guy. It seemed like that was woefully unprepared. They were switching on every single pick and roll, and it just seemed like for the entire game, Porzingis was just shooting over a guy that was 7 inches shorter than him, and they didn't figure out how to, like, not switch on those and keep a guy who was, like, kind of his size and his face because that was just unfair. So obviously, I mean, last game, it seemed like maybe he re-aggravated an injury, so he's injured, but he's not injured. I don't think that Drew Holiday can put up 26 points again. I mean, you don't need to. It's kind of how these final series works. It's like you have one team, one guy that can do it every game, and it's like the Celtics are so deep, it's frustrating. But I think if Porzingis doesn't play that well as he did in Game 1 moving forward, I think the Mavs have a chance to tie this back up at home.
I think Kyrie, I hate saying this, but he has to be, like, he's the wild card here, I think. I mean, we did not get enough production out of him in Game 2, and I think the Mavs definitely would have had a chance if they were able to get literally anything from him. So I feel like I think Porzingis is a big, factor in this, but I think it's all going to depend on how Kyrie plays, because Luka is playing incredible, but he just can't keep this up. I feel like it's not sustainable, and in the NBA Finals, you can't rely on just one player to get it all done for a whole series.
Was it that Kyrie's had no 3-pointers in the first 2 games?
Hadn't made one.
Yeah. Kyrie's playing like shit.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first turn of it. You tried to squeeze every last ounce of juice out of this concussion gambling thing, and this is just where I completely crumbled. I thought Kyrie was going to come out and be like incredible Kyrie, but it turns out he's just, ever since he left Boston, he's just been a bag of shit back in the Garden.
Yeah, 0-13.
Crazy.
The moccasin shoes have to go. They have, they're done. Now, he needs to just go, like, plain white, black sneakers. That's it. Because he looks ridiculous out there. Like, to begin with, I wasn't a huge fan, but, like, even now when you're not playing well, he just has to, like, get down to business, clean shoes, and that's it.
We're not doing revisionist history here, guys. You were the biggest Kyrie supporters.
I was saying I don't hate him.
You better go down with your boy.
I'm going down. Me and he's not going to like me being around him. But I guess if I don't focus on the black part, I mean, we are both Israelites at heart, so maybe we can like find common ground there. But he needs to step it up. I thought for sure he was going to have one of those games in Boston. I think he'll have one against Boston. I think he can't keep playing this bad. He just will not. Luka's unbelievable. I do think Luka must be listening, because it does seem like he has stopped complaining to the refs a little bit. And I do love his shit talk. Like, anytime like Horford fouls him, you can always just see Horford like rolling his eyes, because Luka's just been like, "Well, you think you didn't foul me?" Like, you got those. Like, I love his shit talk, and it does seem like he's maybe taking a step back on that like whiny crying after every play. But he is just like gas. Like, he tries 100% on defense, and you can see how hard he's trying, because on the defense you can literally see that he's like, he can, when he's like man on man with a guy, he can stay in front of him. But he's never going to be the first guy down the court to try to make some sort of block or make some sort of play. Like, he'll give it all on the offensive side, and then he's just like, I just don't really want to get all the way back down there.
Yeah.
The Mavericks have hit 2 corner threes in the series.
That's crazy.
That what got the Mavericks into the finals? Yeah, Luka, but all the supporting cast was playing like well above their talent level, and now the lights are very bright, and they're starting to play like the team they were during the regular season.
Yeah.
And they don't, like, when Dallas, when they're trying to set screens for each other, Boston doesn't have to switch. Everybody can guard everybody. Like, they can pick up their own man. So there's no need for this help defense that was allowing for the ball to swing, to get open shots in the corner. Everybody can D up everybody. So
yeah,
Boston, Jason Tatum is playing terrible, and he seems to be in like a mental pretzel. Like, the moment is definitely too big for him so far. And they're still beating them. Boston isn't hitting threes, and they're still beating them. Like, they're just deeper and more talented, and defensively they are just they are engulfing. They have 20 losses in the season. There's 74 and 20 now for the season. I mean, this is an all-time team if they pull this out, which they're going to.
Yeah.
It's just like the least exciting all-time team. That's Drew Holiday. That's what this guy's like, a Hall of Famer. He's incredible, and it's everything that Marcus Smart brought to the team without all the things that Marcus Smart took away from the team, and a more effective shot, a better offensive player.
Yeah.
But I mean, and Derek White, I mean, did you see that chase down block?
You mean the foul where he got pushed in the back?
He also got blocked by the rim. I was like, when they zoomed in, I'm like, okay, he wasn't going to make that dunk anyway. Like,
because he got pushed in the back. What are you talking about? You try to dunk, get pushed in the back. It's impossible. We all know that. We're all dunkers.
Listen, Derek White is highly underrated as like the best, maybe in the league, at defending drives to the rim. Like, he's the best block. Like, he gets the most blocks at his position. I don't know if it's the most in the league, and I don't have it pulled up, but I'm pretty sure he has like the most blocks per game for a guard. I don't know. That could be way wrong, and I will fact check myself.
No. Let's cut that. Say that again, real confidently.
Derek White is has the most blocks of all time out of any guard, and he's only 29 years old. Did you guys know that?
Didn't know that. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
But you kind of touched on it there a little bit. I just wrote this down too. Jason Tatum's not a top 5 player in the NBA, and I don't care how much the world is going to try to tell me it. He's just not. I don't believe it. And everybody's like, it's everything else that he did to win. He got 12 assists, and he got all the rebounding. He's playing. He's making some shots. He's not shooting. He's afraid to shoot. He's afraid of the moment. He spends his whole life like trying to suck up to Kobe and like, I'm the next Kobe. I'm gonna wear this shirt because Kobe wear it. I'm gonna text Kobe's phone after he died a million times because like just because I want to keep. He's still my guy. And then like he's not playing like that. He's not like, I'm the guy. Give me the ball. Let me do my thing. Let me show you that I'm a top 5 player in the NBA. Like, Luka is no problem doing that. Luka's like, I'm the guy on this team. I'm going to take the shots. For some reason, Luka can't hit a free throw, which I just don't understand. It makes no sense to me. It's just like, how many times is like this star player going to go 0 for 2 from the line on these foul shots? He's so good at drawing contact. I get that he's going to the line a lot, but it doesn't make any sense to me that he just can't do it. I guess it feels like maybe like the yips. It's like when Chuck Knobloch like couldn't throw to first base or something. It's like, you know how to throw the ball. We watch you do it. Then all of a sudden it's like, for some reason, this second to first or like this turning a double play throw goes like 20 20 rows back in the stands
And hit the announcer's mom. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it doesn't get talked about enough. But I just don't know how a guy like that can step up just with utter confidence from 30 feet, and a guy in his face and just hit a three. He also, I don't know if there's a guy in the NBA that like jumps less on his 3-point shots. Like I don't think he uses his legs at all. It just looks like he maybe gets off the ground half an inch. But again, you forget he's 6'8", so obviously he can get over everybody. But Celtics are so deep, they're so boring. It just like that was the epitome of the game. It's like, oh, nobody's playing well with Drew Holiday. I mean, Jaylen Brown has looked incredible. Jason Tatum, I don't care if he's doing all the right things to win. That's not what a top player in the NBA does. They don't have those splits in the first 2 games. So I'm just banking on the fact that role players play better at home, and like that stat you said with the corner threes, hopefully the ones that weren't dropping now, Kyrie's going to play better. If Kyrie plays better and they can hit some corner threes and they can have the drive and kick outs and make a higher percentage of their threes, I'm hoping that this can still be a series and this isn't just like 4 or 5 games of who cares and then it's over.
Guys, I was right.
What about
Derek White does lead the league. He leads the league. He led the league in blocks per game at the guard position. Do you want to guess?
Didn't believe in you.
Do you want to guess where he ranked for the season in the entire NBA in blocks per game?
Well, I mean, there's got to be a lot of centers and stuff, a lot of big men you would think are higher. I would be shocked if he's top 15 or 20.
Sarah?
I was going to say around 15-ish range.
Fair. Well, he is 16th in the league in blocks per game.
That's shocking. Like
more blocks per game than Giannis.
Wow.
Bam Adebayo. I'm just naming key names. Naz Reid, John Collins, Kawhi Leonard. More blocks per game than Jokic.
Wow.
Jesus. Jokic.
Yep.
That dude just plays hard. He does. He always seems like he's in the right spot. And
he's the best in the league.
He's so unassuming, too. Like, I feel like he gets underestimated in that position. Like, people don't feel or see him coming. I don't know.
Well, he shaved his head, so he's even more. He's more like he's sneaky. Yeah. He doesn't have that big fade and the weird,
that
you're
huge
balding,
afro.
Dude, you're balding.
That's started, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you and Stevie Wonder have the same hair? He can't see.
Yeah, so, they're just Boston. It's a Boston team. It's the team.
Yeah,
it's the whole, the sum of the parts. I mean, they are really stacked when you think about it. 1 through 5, like potentially they have 5 Hall of Fame players on their team right now.
Get out of here.
Okay, Tatum and Brown.
Hall of Fame?
Well, everybody gets into the NBA Hall of Fame. Tatum and Brown, if they continue on their way, are both going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Al Horford is probably going to get into the Hall of Fame.
He has played in the forever.
Drew Holiday is probably going to get into the Hall of Fame.
God, that just feels so weird. That just feels like not the Hall of Fame.
And then, the NBA is more like the Hall of Very Good. Porzingis is 27, 28 years old.
I think he might be 29. He's closer to 30. I think he's been in the league a long time.
If he stays healthy,
that's a big if. Because also, I mean, Porzingis
White, best blocker of all time.
Porzingis is made out of popsicle sticks and duct tape. I don't think that guy can put it. He can't put it together. I mean, the first half of the season, first like 3/4 of the season, I think it was like he never had any issues, which was astonishing. It seemed like every single year prior to that, he would have some season-ending injury. So this is just, I feel like, coming back to bite them at the worst time.
He's 28, turns 29 next month. Happy early birthday, Chris Stapps.
Shout out, Chris Stapps.
Shout out.
He's one of those guys. If he was like 6 feet tall, I think we'd look at him as like a very ugly guy. His nose scares me. Not a looker.
Yeah, but he's very tall. The ladies love that, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
Not Chris Stapps tall, too tall?
Very tall is, too tall.
Yeah, I guess 7'3".
He's too tall. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a freak. You're a freak.
Chet, think about the really tall guys.
Yeah. I had 2 thoughts go through my head during these games that I was gonna give you a hard time about, Sasha, and then I immediately 180'd it as to how bad it would have gone. You know what the Knicks could have really used in a series to get to the finals? Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, like a shooter, like a 7'3"
if only
shooter.
They had a guy like that.
Yeah.
but they did have a guy like that because they drafted Kristaps Porzingis.
And that was the famous kid was crying when we drafted him.
Let him go, but then I imagine, how many games would he have made it under the coaching of Tom Thibodeau? Would he be back in Serbia or Latvia right now?
Yeah,
his body would be ruined.
He would be
Latvia. Excuse me.
That was a shout out, Michael Rappaport, actually, OG part of my take listeners.
Latvian gangbanger.
Yeah, he would be literally in one of those like cartoon style full body casts with like his arms and legs all raised. He would literally not be able to handle it.
But yeah, he is the guy that would have, a guy like him would have pushed the next. He was available.
Yeah,
I don't think they had a very fun marriage.
I don't feel bad about this. It's the injuries. He could never stay healthy. We're going to have to pay him an exorbitant amount of money. It was sad to see him go, but that was one of those things. Like I get it, and it's like he needs to be he can't be the only guy because he will go down for multiple games, if not an entire season at some point. We saw it through this whole playoffs. Like he wasn't playing in the playoffs. Imagine even if he did make it through the whole season, like he would have. It's only because he was on the Celtics was he able to make it to the finals because the rest of that team is so consistent and good.
His career averages, just for Hall of Fame watch, 19.7 points per game, 8 rebounds, 1.8 blocks.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Celtics go win a couple titles. He stays healthy. There's a path.
It's a lot. It's a lot of if though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, and the Drew Holiday thing is everybody in the NBA, Drew Holiday is revered. They had to have him on the Olympic team. He's there was some quote, I think it was from Steve Kerr or something, you start the team with him. You got to get Drew Holiday. It's crazy.
Do you have that up there? How many years Kristaps Porzingis has played?
1, 2, 3. This is his 9th season.
Okay, so of a possible, let's just say, not even counting playoffs, of a possible 738 games, and that's in 9 years, 459.
Yeah.
459. That's bad.
Well, let's look at Joel Embiid.
Ooh.
All right, you keep those numbers, and then I'll give you Joel Embiid.
He's played in 62% of the games, possible.
Porzingis.
Porzingis.
Did you just do that math right now?
Yeah, well, Jewish.
Wow.
Don't forget about that.
This
Big brain.
guy. All right, hang on here. Joel Embiid. Do you think? All right. Quiz time. Do you think it's over? Do you think Embiid has played a higher percentage or a lower?
I think he has played a higher percentage because
slightly higher.
Because I think he's always injured and out for periods of time, but Porzingis has been consistently I think he's torn both ACLs. He's had multiple season-ending injuries, which I don't know if Embiid really has. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
Okay, Embiid has played 8 seasons. I think he sat out his entire first season, but we won't count that.
Okay, so he's played 8 seasons?
8 seasons.
Okay, so 8, again, not counting playoff games just because I don't feel like doing that math. So 656 total possible games.
He's played in 433 of them.
433 divided by 656. So it's basically the same, 66%. He's just slightly over. I mean, they basically played in almost the same amount of games in one less year. So, I mean, yeah, he's played in 66 compared to 62. Obviously, both super injury prone. But I also, I don't really know if Embiid's a Hall of Famer. He's super dominant, but, at the end of the day, what has he won? What has he done?
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Joel Embiid missed the first 2 seasons of his career.
Oof. It's pretty bad.
It's a negative, big negative points against him there.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, wow. He did not play for the first 2 years. He was drafted with the 3rd pick in 2014, and he made his NBA debut October 26, 2016.
Is it something with the weird years? He was drafted. Is that 2 seasons or is that years?
Remember the whole trust the process? They were trying to keep him out so they could keep getting all these picks and get Ben Simmons.
Right.
And they won all those titles, remember?
Yeah, that's the process worked.
Yep.
Fuck Philly. In other NBA news, I think the only other thing that came around, Dan Hurley officially staying at UConn, turning down 6 years, $70 million is crazy. So shout out John, UConn, looking good, going for 3 straight. I feel like everybody had to why would you want to take that job? It seems it's good for money purposes. That's crazy. I mean, how much money is he making at UConn, do you think? I mean, it's not touching 6 years, $70 million, is there?
No. I mean, he's definitely the highest paid Connecticut State employee. That's for sure.
Without a doubt.
Is his salary public?
Should be.
Oh, yeah, because I guess he's a state employee. He signed a $32.1 million contract that would keep him at UConn until March of 2026. So last year, he signed a 6-year deal for $32 million.
Well, he got a raise. This whole thing was that's a good way to get a raise. I told my boss today that I was actually in the running now for the Lakers job to see if I can get a raise.
You got to shake him down any which way you can.
Yeah, I'm in consideration. They made me a generous offer, but I'm going to think about it. I actually said that today.
I believe. So, I mean, I think it's a smart move for him. I think going and coaching LeBron at the tail end of his career and having to deal with all that, like, I just feel like his style of coaching, I just can't imagine translating to the NBA very well. I can't imagine these. I mean, obviously, I think it's all going to have to translate too. I think that kind of attitude is going to end up trickling down to college as well. But obviously, I mean, they're still young, and I think that like that hard-nosed style of coaching is going to be, harder and harder to get these guys to listen to. Obviously, it's different because he's won 2 titles. He's proven that this works. But now as these players are going to start making money, because that's always been the issue with these pros, it's like they're at the top of their game, and like having some hard ass coach them. Like that's like Tom Thibodeau is voted in the private polls like the coach that everybody wants wants to play for. And Dan Hurley seems like the same kind of guy, but obviously it's like you have the proven success, you've done it before, but now it's like you want to go coach LeBron and have him be pissy at you and have Anthony Davis be pissy at you. You're in probably, that and the Knicks job are the 2 brightest spotlights there are in NBA coaching. So it's like you're just thrown right into the fire with, arguably one of the, top 3 greatest NBA players of all time, who's getting kind of surly at the end of his career and wants to run and everything. Like, that didn't make any sense to me that he would want to go do that. It's like, stay at UConn and just become a king in stores.
Yeah, I feel like it would be so dissatisfying for him. Just like I feel like he gets his personal fire and fuel just from being able to motivate these guys, and have something to fight and argue about. And I feel like that just it's not there in the NBA. And I feel like these players, yes, it's like you're not really developing NBA players as much as a college. And I feel like that's a big part of what he's good at and what he enjoys doing. So, yeah, the money's there, and I feel like it is hard to turn down. But I just feel like right now, from a professional standpoint, it's just probably not interesting enough to him, and I think he knows that.
Yeah, but he could have developed Bronny.
That's true.
If I was selling Dan Hurley on the job, I wouldn't be like, and guess what? You get to draft Bronny James with the 55th pick and then put all your time into making sure he doesn't screw up or you're fired.
I don't know if I would like that.
It's an insane. When it was written like that, I was like, what an insane. Like, nobody would want to do that. Hey, and then you could we'll pay you $70 million. You could draft LeBron's kid and develop him because you're good at that, right? Can you make this kid who's 6'1"?
Can you make this not good basketball
LeBron James? Can you make him good?
I don't.
The only 2 good college coaches to succeed in the NBA are Brad Stevens and Billy Donovan. And Billy Donovan, it's like succeed sort of.
I was going to say,
still
it's like
doing
that,
it.
Yeah, that's easy. The fact that he just still has a job. I feel like everybody else ends up going back. I agree. It's just be a king in stores. Just be a king in Connecticut. You don't have to move. You have life-changing money already, and now it's just going to become even more like, just do your thing. Do it as long as you want. But
I bet you he goes to the Knicks one day.
Stick in New York? I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't hate it.
He loves the Garden, so
who doesn't?
I feel like that would be good. Yeah.
Thibodeau's going to wear out the welcome in the next 5 years.
Probably, because he'll just keep getting people injured. I mean, it seems like he has this kind of trajectory, but whatever. Still love him. Hopefully, we can get some people in. If it keeps people away, I'm not into it. I want him to be able to get players. That's a different story for a different time. So does that mean JJ Redick is the next head coach of the Lakers? I haven't heard any other names besides that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Or does that mean that they didn't like JJ, which is why they let all this news come out and why they were trying to make offers to Dan Hurley? Does JJ feel like the second fiddle?
I I would like to see him go. I'm not a huge fan of him being on the broadcasting team. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so biased. I've never been a JJ Redick fan, but I'd be happier with him on the Lakers. Then I feel like otherwise he's just going to keep building in the media, for broadcast for big time games, and I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, I feel like not a ton of personality, but he's
No.
kind of. I feel like he's trying. He's just very monotone. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe I think just being a Duke guy, maybe too handsome. I don't know what his deal is, but
He's like a bland version of Billis. Like he sounds like Jay Billis like a little bit, but he's just not as he's not there. He's not bringing like any of. Not that Billis brings a lot of excitement, but I feel like he's just lacking in like the color part of it.
He certainly is lacking in the color.
Yeah.
That's true.
I got my money on James Borrego.
You made that name up.
Assistant for the Pelicans, and he was with Popovich in San Antonio during the runs.
But that's
young, also handsome. I think he's going to be the guy.
I think that makes sense. It's just, I feel like LA, they always want to splash higher. They want a big name. I guess they did. Darvin Ham, whatever Ham wasn't exactly that. So, all right, I like that. That could make sense. But that also seems like too smart of a move. It seems like they want the flashy name. They're going to get whoever LeBron wants. Like, is there some guy from Cleveland or something? Is there somebody who LeBron wanted, who LeBron's going to try to pull?
Maybe Adele, because she's engaged to Rich Paul.
That's good. That makes a lot of sense.
She's at all
get
the
her
games.
paid.
Yeah, get her on the payroll. Clutch.
Does Jack Nicholson still go to these games? I haven't seen him.
No.
Is he alive?
No. I think he's got some serious dementia going on. He was at one of the games, and it was like a big deal, and he looked like he had a diaper on.
He's still just pinching cheerleaders. Like, we got to get Jack out of here.
Yeah, Jack just shit himself. We got to go.
And then it also probably the most exciting news on social media, at least, WNBA, Caitlin Clark not making the Olympic team has just taken the world by storm. And if you have been online in the past 48 hours, it has been impossible for you to avoid it. So does it make sense? Does anybody actually care? Or is the world just feeding us this headlines and just making this a news story?
Well, I don't understand what I thought when I first saw this. Is there some unspoken rule that WNBA rookies aren't on the team? You know what I mean? She just started in the WNBA a couple weeks ago. I know that doesn't necessarily translate across other sports and Olympics. Obviously we have gymnastics and sports like that where there's 16-year-olds in there. So you don't necessarily have to graduate college. But I didn't know is that something that have other people in her position been elected to the team? Because if not, then I kind of get it. You know what I mean? If this is how it goes, I guess they're just following how things are. I don't know. I don't know. We're being fed so much information. I don't know what to believe on any of it, but I'm honestly not too worked up about it either way.
Who cares? Well, first of all, you are a woman, as I guess I don't want to put that out there,
true.
unless, it's all right. Good. Comfortable about
For the
that.
listener, Sarah is a woman, so whatever I probably means about to say, Sarah
does not matter. So I think that she's not one of the 12 best women basketball players in the world at the moment. She was the best college player.
Have you
and
watched
everybody
the WNBA?
No, but I would assume that somebody who's just how many rookies come into the league and are amazing. It's just based on stats.
She scored 30 points the other night. I can't believe I even know this.
Yeah, that's crazy that you know that. I also just don't care. I feel like everybody that's mad is also not watching these games. Nobody cares. It's anybody that really wants her in there, it's just for a marketing play, which is I get it. Why would you not want to do it? Whether she's there or not as the 12th person on the team, you're going to get more people watching it. So it's is it a talent thing? Is it a get people to watch thing? At the end of the day, I don't care. And I think most of the people talking about it also don't care. And they're making this just a microcosm of a much bigger issue that they're trying to get upset about. It's they're upset
What's
about
the issue.
That nobody watches. It's the same few people that were they don't get paid enough. They don't do all this stuff. It's nobody's watching and nobody's still watching, but now people are talking and they're trying to make it a thing. So it's if you want to make this just a circus, just put her name out there in the middle of everything, and people dummies like us are just going to keep talking about it and keep driving clicks and driving money and driving whatever. Because I still haven't watched any games, and I probably will continue to not. But we are also going to win the gold medal because no other team is as big or as talented as us.
China's looming.
Yeah, they're pretty scary. They're just they're just all of Yao Ming's children in trench coats. They're just But I just
to answer your question, Sarah, and I'm surprised we didn't all know this right away, but I did look it up. As a matter of fact, in 1996, who can forget Rebecca Lobo, a notorious Albany hater? She made the Olympic team as a rookie. Diana Taurasi, the now 58-year-old person who made the women's national team this year, who's apparently better than Caitlin Clark, she made it in 2004. And Candace Parker in 2008. And even as recent as everybody knows her, Brianna Stewart. Who's that?
Yep.
I don't know. 202016.
I do actually know her. UConn, right?
Yes.
You're the one who was in the shooting contest against Kurt? Yeah. Yeah.
Are you telling me, and this I'm going to get upset. This might be the most upset I'm going to get on this podcast ever, except we talk about Josh Allen. 30 minutes. Are you telling me that the most polarizing woman basketball athlete ever, not even close, bigger than Brittany Griner in a jail in Russia, doesn't make this team? She's the most decorated college athlete ever. She scored, oh my God, I can't believe some stat of in her first 12 games, she's got the most points and assists. No one's ever done it. And she doesn't make the Olympic team. This is ridiculous. Either it's PR because they want to keep everybody pissed because they want the WNBA and the zeitgeist, because maybe she makes it and that just makes sense, and then everybody goes on not giving a shit about the women's game, right? No one's going to watch it either way. But now we are going to pay attention to the Post because she's not there, and every column's going to be, should Caitlin Clark be there? There's no way she doesn't make this team. There's no way, guys and girls.
And ladies.
And Sarah, there's no way. Sarah, you should be outraged they're either this is perfect PR, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to drop this, but this has really been because they're flooding our timelines with it, people. They're shoving it down our face to make people like me who could not give a shit very emotional about this. They're either destroying the WNBA, this is their first, you have a chance to be bigger than what you have been, which is nothing for the last 20, whenever this league started, 96, nothing. You've been nothing. And that's not being mean. That's a fact. They shove them in at the end of the summer. You don't even know when's the season end? Anybody know?
Couldn't tell you.
This has been a league for 30 years, guys. Nobody even knows. Nobody knows. And this is your first chance, and now they're knocking this girl out like she did something to them. She's getting hit, smashed in every game. They're being it seems like the other players are almost jealous, yet she's making you this money. She's making the league money. You should be thankful that this person is here, finally a star to promote the league. In the NBA sucked. Before it was a shitty product. They had tape delayed NBA finals. You couldn't nobody cared until they were doing cocaine in the 70s. The league was falling apart. And then Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came into the league. And then Michael Jordan came into the league, and it saved and turned the NBA into what it is. And now you've got this person, and they're doing everything they can to make it not a good thing. It's unbelievable. End the league. She should leave.
They're completely, she just has nowhere else to go. They're just completely fumbling the opportunity. They've been handed the golden goose, and they're choosing to not do it. They're choosing to take other people's opinions or other people's care. They've completely tried to make her not a thing and to try to oh no, but look at the rest of it. It's who gives a
disaster?
Look at what people are watching. Yeah, what people are watching.
Did you hear the Angel Reese thing? Because I did, because it's on every timeline. She's it's not just about one person, it's about me too. I was what? Yeah. No, it isn't. It's not.
Maybe the funniest tweet I saw was Angel Reese is doing a lot of talking. Her shooting percentage is worse than Jonte Porter's, and he was trying to miss.
She's got. Sarah, can I make a funny joke about? Okay, because her eyelashes. So those eyelashes, how could she see? They look like they weigh 8 pounds on her.
No, they're very obstructing.
Oh, that's a good question, Sarah. Describe to us false eyelashes and how those work.
So,
what a doctor.
I don't know if I need medical skills in this, but the false eyelashes, I'm not, the only time I wore them was for my wedding, and I could not see anything for half the day. They came off halfway through the day, because you think about it, it's when you have Well, it's not like when you get an eyelash in your eye, but it's kind of like chronically having like eyelashes stuck in your eye because they're just smushed in there, and then you have a black border of the lashes above and below everything that you see. So like your vision, not peripheral, but up and down, is obstructed by it. So I would have to venture to guess that it genuinely could be impacting her shooting percentage, 100%.
It explains the 34.6%.
Maybe I should reach out to her on this. I'll have to let her know. Maybe
on the pod and defend yourself, Angel. She kind of looks like Sid the Sloth.
Ooh, that's good.
Ice Age.
That's a good
Yeah.
call.
I always say like the eyelashes, they make her eyes look really wide, and whatever.
Yeah.
I think the problem with the WNBA, and this is because the world, who are the? Oh my God, we could do a whole show. First, who are the powers that be that have decided this is like where our attention needs to be? One, who is that shadow realm? Two, the reason why Caitlin Clark, it's not a black or white thing. It's not a whatever. It's her highlights are cool. I've watched these other it sucks. They're not above the rim. They're not jumping high. They're not they're not like exactly like crossing people up and doing. Caitlin Clark is like stepping back and hitting like deep threes and like she's making highlights that like, yeah, I kind of liked watching them in when she was in college.
They're clippable and they're
like,
exciting. The same way that Steph Curry changed the game, and it's like everybody's watching this three. It's like something totally different. It's the way that the game is played now.
Yes.
Everybody's hitting these threes. Everybody's taking these shots, and she's willing to take them, and she's willing to hit, and she has the ability to hit them. It's like let her do it.
It would be like, do you remember the Dirk Nowitzki's Mavericks when they won the title? It would be like if Tyson Chandler, who I think was arguably as important as Dirk to getting him to win that title, if Tyson Chandler was like, yeah, but what about me? It's about me. Tyson Chandler did all the things that are not that exciting and felt like, yeah, he was just a big body who like defended the rim and like, but he made a huge impact, but I don't give it. That's not highlight basketball. That was Dirk.
Yeah.
She's like Dirk, and these other people should just be like, it's not like kissing her ass because you want to beat her, but it shouldn't be like they're attacking her either. And of course she goes to the Olympics. It's the number one like it or not, this is your shot, WNBA. I mean, I'm out.
I don't know how
You
I
don't have a chance I'm out.
that's
God.
Yeah, I guess
ridiculous.
Daddy's fired up today.
Ugh.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
Football.
I don't blame them. Like, I like that the players are coming out and talking shit because it's like they want to. It's like it's a self-centered business. They're the ones that want to get paid. I get that. I get them not being like all trying to suck off Caitlin Clark, being like she's the greatest. She's the greatest. Like you want some competition. The reason, like, would Larry Bird or Magic Johnson alone have like saved the league? No, but like the animosity and like the competition did. What I don't get is the higher powers that be that are like trying to put, that are getting the WNBA everywhere, and the coaches that are picking the teams, they're the ones that are like, ooh, we don't want to do this, or like, let's not make it all about her. It's like, you guys, any person with like half an ounce of business sense should be like, we should probably make this all about her, and any attention that's positive or negative about her. Oh, you know what's great? Angel Reese coming out and talking shit about her. Let's put that out there too. And you know what? If they come and they foul her hard, those people probably need to get ejected from the game because it's like, this is kind of this is our show pony, and you guys are trying to like put her down and get her injured. That's not cool. So them being like, oh no, it's just competition there, and that's fine. It's like, let them talk all their shit after the game and like draw the attention that way because that's fun and exciting. But as soon as it comes to her actually like not getting minutes and not making teams and not being the face of the league from a business standpoint, it's insane.
Yeah.
Larry Bird, when they were beating the young Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls and Jordan put up 62 points on them, after the game, didn't turn around and go, fuck Michael Jordan, it's all about me. He said that wasn't Michael Jordan, that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. They had a certain reverence for themselves. Is that the right word? Reverence. The Revenant. Go check that movie out.
Yeah.
The Revenant. No free ads. They had a certain reverence for each other that, like, it's different and it's frustrating. And I do think, like, maybe this is a lot of ESPN is a struggling brand in general. Like, the ESPN bets thing isn't going so well. Like, they're trying to make something stick, and I think they have a lot of the WNBA rights. So they're like, here, we're going to make this your thing. But these are dirty fouls. These players, they're arguing whether or not it's dirty. Like, it's not part of the game, what I've seen. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think what it's come down to, and why I honestly don't like consuming a lot of it, is I feel like we're seeing the negative aspect of like the cattiness and, like you said, Mike, jealousy that's come from the other players with the rise of Caitlin Clark, and it's just, I don't know, that's not something you get as much, I feel like, in the NBA, and I don't know if this, because this has just been such a dramatic shift, like you said, where the WNBA was really not getting very much press, and all of a sudden now maybe these girls feel like, hey, we've been playing good basketball all along, and we haven't been getting showcased, and all of a sudden, they're jealous that it's coming in from one player. For whatever they feel that reason, it's making it hard to watch because it is this cattiness with the hard fouls and the comments and stuff. And to me, like, I like drama in sports, but not that kind of drama. Like, I prefer drama, I don't know, a close game, like competition-wise, not off the field or off the court sort of stuff.
Yeah, Michael Jordan would go out there and talk shit right to these guys' faces, but then when the cameras go on, he would be like, they're a good team, we're good team, we respect them. And then he'd go out there and tell them everything that these women are saying, like, to the reporters. It's just they need to do some, like, there needs to be some serious PR work. Where's Kyrie's guys?
Get him to shut up.
The Kyrie, whoever got the Kyrie, the PR, they got to put a spin on this because, like, I would imagine the general consensus is somewhere a little less frustrated than me, just because I don't want to see this, and then I'm seeing it, and it's like I don't understand. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're destroying a chance. It just doesn't make any sense. I would imagine the public agrees that it's like enough. I think the world's going to be like, enough of this. We don't care.
Yeah, only a matter of time. Well, speaking of enough of this, the Belmont Stakes. I've had enough of the WNBA. Belmont Stakes happened. Door knock won, was 17-1 odds. Exciting. Who cares? It was fun. Up in Saratoga. I knew a couple people that were up there, and overall they said kind of underwhelming. It seems like all the rich people just kind of came, shuttled in, went to their booths, suites, all their private areas. Super expensive. Everything was outrageous. There was no re-entry. You couldn't bring any of your own booze. So all my friends that went there were like, oh, maybe it's going to be Travers 2.0. Maybe it's going to be like the Whitney 2.0. It's going to be like that on steroids. And they just said they felt completely none of that. It was just kind of like a regular day that was not really that exciting. There's obviously just way more money in town. There's way more like famous people. They said, you didn't even really see them. A couple people get some pictures and stuff. But other than that, apparently just a different vibe than our normal Saratoga, what people were used to.
It looks fun on TV from watching. It's always funny when you see it on TV and you're like, this is Saratoga. Like, it's, doesn't look real. It's like the same thing when you see like the college gyms on TV, right? And when you've actually been there. It looked like a good time. I mean, I thought it was a good race. I was rooting for your pick, Mind Frame, Mike. What was he doing down the home stretch? He was veering very hard to the right, and I was like a little confused what was going on here. I was like, I don't know. Is that on the jockey? Is that on the horse? I'm not sure. But he had a chance to win it if he had maybe taken the tangents a little bit more there.
I've never been, for whatever reason, I've never been so confident in a horse, both it financially as well. Like, I was like, and I'm down with my family and I'm looking at my wife and I'm like, here he comes here. And I've never seen this horse in my life.
We feel confident though.
I'm like, watch the kick. He's fast. I'm like, how would I could have just read a bullshit article, when and it was typical horse racing because I felt like I had really studied the field and I had no idea and I'm like, who won? And I had a bet on everything. Not one bet on door knock.
Bad name.
Jason Worth.
Yeah.
Owned. Yeah. Shout out.
But bad horse name. I wouldn't like it. Door knock. It sounds gross. It's like if you're gonna have a horse, like, pick a name that people want to bet on. It sounds cool.
It wants to be like witty or funny,
Or even just throw a name in there. Like I looked, like Honor Marie was one of them, and it's like one of mother-in-law's best friends who passed away. Her name was Marie. It's like that's just an easy way to just get
something relatable
on your horse, just something that other people know. Like it's just you got to have some. Yeah, either it's got to be funny or just simple, like my friend James or something. And it's like everybody's like, I have a friend James, and then they'll just put all the money on that horse.
Yeah.
I also discovered the DraftKings horse app. I usually use Naira. Now I'm on DraftKings.
What
DK horse? There it is.
Better work.
I mean, I actually did. The problem with me and horse betting is like I only do it a couple times a year. But now with these apps, it's like, do you want to bet on every race around the world? And I'm like, Yeah, there's a race going off every 3 minutes. So, yeah. And then actually what was cool with DraftKings for all the degenerates out there like me who don't want to accidentally bet on chariot racing. What's it called?
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
What's it called where they sit in the things?
I
It actually was Chariot, right?
Is it Chariot? I don't think it's Chariot. Hold on.
Sounds pretty cool, though.
Hang on, let me pull it up on the DK Horse app. Maybe I'll place a bet while we're here. Harness racing.
Yep.
So DK, the app, you can actually search between thoroughbred or harness, because when I go on one of these crazy horse betting, like 2-day runs, I'll just bet the next race, and then I click on it, and I'm so pissed off when they're in their little chairs.
Yeah, I mean, because you're a big money guy. You know all your shit on thoroughbreds. God forbid you accidentally bet a harness race. You don't know anything on the harness races.
I know. Exactly. Actually, I won second most I won over the weekend was on a harness race. Crazy 20-1 comeback. Shout out. Came out of nowhere from the back. It's a very horse racing. I can understand how addictive it is. I do think, as a message to all the tracks out there, there's enough money being gambled on horse racing that everybody should have the technology that Saratoga does when you bet a race. Like, there are some that I feel like I'm watching, like I said to my wife, it looks like I'm watching a recording of a race in 1980. Like, it's blurry. They have none of the graphics with the numbers, and it's like if you lose your horse, you just have no idea. These horses can't afford an HD stream. It's great. How much money are people spending on this?
Get some 4K cameras in there.
It's crazy. Also, watching races in Spanish, in the Spanish tracks.
Is that fun?
You guys all got to try it. It's awesome.
That sounds
real
fun.
Fired up. I have no idea who's winning. I pick a horse with an English name because they'll pronounce it a little better, so I know. Otherwise, it's like But yeah, they're way better than the American announcers.
Yeah, it's just a vibes thing. I mean, I've always said that about like with soccer with the British announcers, which actually I've seen now with that MLB that series in London where it was the Mets and the Phillies. You get something like the way that game ended. Obviously, it was pretty exciting with that double play for the Mets to win. But it's like you had the British announcer on that call. It's like, this is electric. This is just so much better and so much more exciting.
Yes.
But I don't know if anybody's actually watching those games in England. I don't know if they're Mets or Phillies fans. I mean, I guess the Phillies have been incredible. You know, they're the number one team, apparently better than the Yankees and the Dodgers, which I don't necessarily agree with. I feel like the Phillies have just played dog shit teams. But yeah, obviously they've looked very good. But I don't know if they're obviously just like, well, the NFL's trying to like expand the game. I guess we'll try to do the same thing, and they're just throwing games.
The Brits get into it.
They just like a good time. They just like to party, and they don't. They're starved for sports. Yeah. Oh, they just have soccer and like the occasional curling match or something. Like I don't know what the fuck else they do over there, but it's like they just want sports.
Soccer is like 13 months a year, though.
It does never stop.
When are we doing the Premier League? I was really confused as to what
I
talk about.
Left it off intentionally on the line today.
How's Tottenham doing? They're 8-4. It's like, what?
Yeah, the season just ended. We've already had 7 games this new season. But sticking on MLB, the Yankees didn't get swept. I was very glad. I don't know if you watched any of those games, but those were that real pitcher's duel on the first game. The Yankees and then ended up losing in extras. The Yankees got crushed in game 2, and then thank God they won that third game. I thought it was very funny that Trent Grisham huge home run during basically the "We Want Soto" chants. I like that attitude, and the whole team seemed to kind of rally around him, and it just seemed like a crazy New York fan thing wanting Soto to come out. But
then the fans started chanting "We want Grisham" afterwards,
which was hilarious.
Which I thought was a nice little self-reflecting by the Bronx. The what you call it, the
bleacher creatures.
Bleacher creatures. Thank you.
Little self-reflection. And also, did you see where Boone was yelling at the umpire? And then America the Beautiful started playing. They took their hats off and like stopped for 30 seconds. And then as soon as the song ended, like Boone puts his hat over his mouth and they start like arguing again. They start going back at it. It was just very funny and being like, "Hey, stop!" And they all just kind of like sat there, just stood there angrily next to each other for 30 seconds while not Kate Smith sang America the Beautiful or whatever.
And Aaron Judge is incredible. When he's locked in, I feel bad for the pitchers.
I don't know what you do.
It's like Oh my God! If you throw it in the zone, he's going to crush it.
You said it when we were texting last week when he was up with the bases loaded, and you're like, he's getting these Barry Bonds treatment. He was up with the bases loaded, and I think he hit a triple, and then the very next the next round through the lineup, he was up with the bases loaded again. You're like, he's gonna get walked. I'm like, there's no way, and then he got walked with the bases loaded.
It's crazy.
The Aaron Judge, everybody listening, if you like to bet at bats, if Aaron Judge keeps going like this when we get towards the end of the year and he's putting up real numbers, Aaron Judge walks. If you just bet it every time, you will end up plus money. I guarantee it.
Hopefully,
Sasha, you were with me.
Yeah.
How much money was I winning betting him to walk? It was unbelievable.
There's still a server. There's a bartender at a restaurant that I go to sometimes, and he'd be like, "Where's Mike? Is he still betting at bats?" I'm like, "That was 5 years ago."
And yes, sometimes.
You blew his mind because that was also like the hottest streak I've ever seen anybody go on. It was like an hour straight of you betting like every at bat, and somehow you probably won 70% of those. That was outrageous.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna get a single here. You're like, this is an extra base hit. He's gonna strike out. Like, how does he keep doing this?
Oh yeah, and then I'll do the worst thing to talk about degenerate. So when I'm not betting horses in Japan, I'll sometimes just lay in bed and just watch the game cast and just bet walks. It is electric because like I know it's already happened, and the little balls pop, and it's like green for ball, red for strike. And it's like my wife can feel me tense up, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I need this guy to walk." She's like, "You're not even watching the game." I'm like, plus 900. Shush.
Somebody's got to pay this mortgage.
Yeah, it's not going to be me if he doesn't get on first.
And then also, so I feel like it always ends up taking a back seat. But I got to tell you, when you watch these games, they are fucking exhilarating. Stanley Cup Finals. You guys watched any hockey at all?
I did. I finally was able to get into it with less NBA on. My takeaway, I'm not a hockey expert, but I think that the Oilers had 33 shots on goal. Is that what the people say? 33 shots on goal? Yep. I don't know. And they did not score. I feel like, does that mean the Panthers goalie is really good, or were they having a very bad offensive day? Or a little bit of both? Because I feel like that sounds really bad.
Goalie Bob
is the Panthers goalie is very, very good. He's been unbelievable. Like through the whole playoffs, he has been outstanding. And the Oilers are going to get some shots off. I think I don't think they're going to get shut out again. Like they have enough firepower, but it's the Panthers just look so goddamn good. And you were just talking, Mike, about like gambling on bat. Like it's easy in baseball, obviously, especially in the game cast. But, like, if I bet a guy to score a goal, I'm never certain who scores the goals. I don't know who's on the ice at what time. I'm, like, betting on a guy to score a goal. I'm like, I think that's him, and then it turns out it's never him.
Yeah.
It's very, very frustrating. They got to find a better way. Do you actually watch the game? Sometimes they'll do – it literally looks like a video game. They'll have, like, the red tracker around a player, and, like, they're watching them skate. That technology, I feel like we need to use more of that. It's way more exciting. Because it actually makes me be able to track players and follow who they are, because I feel like I'm just still too much of a novice and too much of an idiot, and the players come on and off the ice so fast. I have no idea. It's like, I don't know. Everybody's like, did you see McDavid? He's unbelievable. It's like, yeah, I saw the highlight when they like slowed it down, but in the middle of the game, I had no idea that was him.
Yeah. I feel like I'm zoning out whenever time they scored. I'm like sitting there like, you're like kind of watching the screen, but you're not actually watching whatever's happening. And that is the exact same thing happens. I'm like, oh, the goal one. And then you have to wait for the highlight, maybe the second round to see it happen from there.
But it's just so electric.
I had to tell myself I can't bet on hockey when I placed a bet one night late because it was the last thing going, and I had a bad couple days. And I thought I had won the bet and then forgot that there were 3 periods in hockey.
You bet on a fourth?
I was like, I bet like under on goals, and I was like, oh, this is cash money. Second half, we're good. And then like they keep playing, and I'm like, what is this? And then I went downstairs and put it on my TV, and like within like 8 minutes, it was like the overhit. I wanted to throw my phone through the window. So
that's a fair one. Thinking the game is over and realize you got a hold of the third of the game.
Yeah, big mistake.
But it's speaking of betting, we got to find some ways to win our listeners some money, because I got to stop betting hockey, because I got real hot. I was very excited about it in the first round of betting the Rangers, and then every other hockey bet I've made has just absolutely shit the bed. So I got to make a hard left turn. But Sarah, you're looking to stay hot here. What do you got for us this week on Heat Check? Why don't we make our listeners some money this week?
I think can you pass me, because now I'm thinking, did I look at the wrong date for mine? Was there a PGA event this weekend?
Yes, the U.S. Open.
Okay, it's the U.S. Open. I thought so, and then I just quickly Googled it and told me it was in August, because I was like, wait, is it the U.S. Open? So I'm going U.S. Open, Scotty Scheffler, top 5. I feel like this guy can't miss. I mean, if you really want to, top 3, take him to win. I feel like he's probably going to win, but he's been on fire, and I feel like top 5 is almost a shoo-in for him at this point.
What are the odds on that?
Let's check.
I'll pull it up now. But while you're pulling that up, I want to say I did see that Scotty Scheffler. There are 3 months left in the golf season to play, and he has already broken the record for most money won in a PGA season. So I mean, he is going to shatter that record, and he has been unbelievable. It seems like he just does not lose. And realistically, like if that, what was the name of the event where whatever he got arrested and then he didn't have his caddy? Was it the players? Like, I mean, if he has his, doesn't get arrested, none of that weird shit, has his caddy for Saturday, like, who knows how the rest of this plays out as well? Because he's already won $24 million this season. The previous record for an entire season was $21 million. So he still has three more months to just absolutely rack up some cash.
So he's minus 120, top 5, plus 300 to win.
So maybe take that. Yeah. Minus 120 is still
That's
not
crazy.
so bad.
That's
for
Tiger
120.
Woods odds.
Yeah.
Plus 300. That's insane.
Yeah, like the field has got to be like a that's not that high. Mike, you have a pick for us this week. You want to win some people some money because I feel like Sarah's a shoe-in. She's hot.
No,
For everybody listening,
We don't talk about the losses. I don't remember.
I like Poseidon Sun 4-1 at the Mountaineer Racetrack, going off in 47 minutes if we get it posted in time. That is a real bet. That's a real horse. I'm not fudging around. No, and I also just another fun bet. You guys might not hear. Give me the Indiana Fever plus 10.5 tonight against everybody. You guys already are probably shouting it out in your cars who they're playing. The Connecticut Sun.
Ooh.
Wait, that's your official pick?
Revenge
No.
game loading. Well, they play at 7:00 tonight, so
Okay, so this is a
all of you
bonus.
listening,
Bonus,
for the early listeners, there you go. There's some free money.
I'm starting to think we got something going here. You got Poseidon Sun. You have them losing to you have them beating the Connecticut Sun. You have 3 4?
Okay. Do we have a golfer named Sun?
It's probably some Korean guy, right?
Sung J M?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on here. Let's finish it up. What's Sung J M got? Oh boy.
It's good radio.
Hang on, everybody. All right, give me Sung J M top 10 at plus 600. That's my official bet.
Top 10 plus 600. Why not?
I also like Bryson. That was what I was gonna say. Bryson top 10, but
I gotta look up the spelling.
Sunday. Yeah, careful. Got to get that right.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now.
Sung Jae.
Sung Jae plus 600. I like that. There's a lot of golf this weekend. We got some good stuff going on. I am keeping
Father's Day gift.
There you go. I'm keeping with the Suns. There you go. It's all tying together. I am keeping it boring, sticking with basketball. I think Dallas at home is going to score a lot of points, and I think over 213 is going to be an absolute shoe. And I think that I'm just going to keep betting Kyrie to have over 30 points until he does. I don't think he's going to keep playing with that. Luka will get his 30. So basically, I just need that's 60 points right there, and I think everybody else can pick up the rest. So Dallas, Boston over 213.
Caitlin Clark is over under his 18.5 tonight. I'm betting it. Forget it. Is it on television?
I like that Mike started. He's like, "Stop with the WNBA. I don't care. I don't want to watch it." Now he's gonna show up next week in a Indiana, whatever their team name is, Indiana
Fever, baby. I got a fever. Yeah.
The only cure is more Caitlin Clark.
I'm gonna order a Caitlin Clark men's XL.
They're all sold out, buddy. That's prime. Again, I'll get it in a boys husky.
Plus 110, everybody. Plus 110.
Well, absolutely love it. Listen, if you guys want to make some money this week, Sarah's got the U.S. Open, and we've got Scotty Scheffler top 5. Mike has Sung J M top 10 at plus 600. And I've taken Dallas and Boston over 213. And if we get this podcast out earlier, Just remember, Poseidon's Sun 4-1. Everybody take a look, see what
It's
happened
now
on
7-2. It's they're live listening to us.
wow.
It's 7-2. The odds are
The
moving.
markets are tapped in. No, that's what we got going on.
44 minutes to post. 44 minutes to post.
Well, listen, we love you guys. Even when it's a slow sports season, we always got stuff to talk about. We appreciate you guys listening. We love you very much. As always, follow us on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. We're starting to get some stuff up there as well. So share with your friends. We love you, and we will talk to you next week.